So what you're saying is that unless we come back to your biblical laws and commandments and statute, that is the reason why people of color, black people specifically, in America are at the lowest financial standard, the lowest financial caste in America. That's your reason. That's why. More than likely, it's because you believe Deuteronomy 28 actually pertains to black people in America, and that we were sold into slavery and brought over here because of the disobedience of our forefathers. When Deuteronomy 28 was actually not talking about the transatlantic slave trade, but was actually talking about the time frame right after Titus conquered Judea and sold them, but could not find buyers. Well, sell them away on ships to Egypt, but there were no buyers for them. Remember, in the transatlantic slave trade, there was plenty of buyers when your book says there were no buyers. And that's what the real word redeem in Deuteronomy 28 actually means. But even furthermore, when you look at the Vulgate and the Septuagint, Deuteronomy 28 did not say anything about selling away on ships. It just said that your children would be disobedient, but it didn't say anything about the selling away on ships for 400 years. So that was something that was added later, to which y'all just refuse to accept, because it keeps the narrative so that you can claim Israelite in America. And it's completely false. The idea of an Israelite in America actually started out with John Smith, the guy who started the Mormons. So you're really perpetuating his idea of who you are, not yourself. Now, I have not been a member who have kept your laws and your statutes, but if you were to go through many of my videos, and if you pay attention to some of the details or some of the anecdotes that I use, I talk about the fact that when I own different houses, when I've owned different businesses, and when I've sold businesses, and just like right now, I've just finished, I'm getting ready to move to North Carolina after getting rid of 2 businesses that I own and moving to a more peaceful life. I'm not trying to brag or be in a measuring contest, but the point is the accumulation of wealth and understanding finances has absolutely nothing to do with keeping your laws and statutes. As a matter of fact, that is something that your Bible taught, that those who are wealthy because God has blessed them. That's a mindset that your Bible taught. And this is why your Jesus you don't believe in Jesus, but the Jesus character, when dealing with the rich young ruler, was telling him that, okay, you're rich, you kept all the commandments, and that's why you're rich. But sell all your shit and come follow me. He wouldn't do it. He felt sad. He walked away. Then the apostles at the time all said, hey, if he can't get in, then how the hell we gonna get in? Because they attributed wealth to faithfulness to this deity and the blessings of this deity. Now, your Bible does have a couple of good things in it about wealth. Measure twice, cut once. It's good business acumen. Count the cost. Good business acumen. Ecclesiastes, do many businesses for you know not which one will succeed. That actually has been a hallmark of mine, because I am, those who know me know I am quick to start a business to see if it works or if it doesn't. And I have no problems with things working out for long periods of time or short periods of time. It's all about your mentality, but understanding business. But if you've listened to many of my videos, and I know the people on the subscription, today or tomorrow, they're going to get a longer video concerning finances. And when we talk about those finances, I give you a couple of things that you need to understand. If you're not functioning on a budget, then you will not see financial success. If you do not have some types of investments, and you have to take control of your investments. If you're using your 401k, it's okay, but it's not the best investment that you could possibly make. For me, investments has always been to start a business and build a business. That's my investment for long term. But there's also been the inclusion of stocks and bonds and mutual funds, things of that nature. And if you don't understand compounding interest, then you're going to be suffering. So we're going to talk about those kind of things on the subscription page. Now, but like I said, if you're not even on a budget, if you're not even saving, if you're spending more money than you make, then you will never see wealth. If you're trying to keep up with the Joneses, if you are still in the mentality of the excess of the 80s, then you will never see financial wealth. If you are not making yourself more marketable to the market, then you will never see financial success. But the first thing you have to understand, you have to determine what is financial success for you, because no one can decide it for you. You have to decide it for yourself. I've spoken many times about a young lady that I know. She makes only $40,000 a year. It's the most she's ever made. But wealth to her was to buy her house, to which it is completely paid for. She bought that house when she was in her 20s. Her and her husband at the time bought the house when they was in their 20s. Lived in the house, paid the house off by amortizing the loan in 15 years. All she pays is taxes on the house and the utilities and basic maintenance. And she, last time I talked to her, which was 3 years ago, she was on her 5th passport. She is living a wealthy life, a rich life. She has built the exact wealth that she wanted to build, desired to build, that is befitting for her. So, if you don't know what your wealthy life looks like, and not the bullshit of, oh, I want the cars and the houses and all that, that may be, but what is that really? Are you willing to do what's necessary to get there? Like, many people aren't willing to do what's necessary to get to the levels that I've been at and the level that I'm at. Most people aren't willing to put in the time, the energy, the effort. Are you willing to sit inside of a business for 14 to 16 hours a day? You may not be. You may need to get a job. But you need to get the most marketable job you can possibly get and become a SME, a subject matter expert in that job, so that you can gain the highest wages possible in that job, so that you can then understand how to budget and finance your money, what to invest in. If you're in your 20s and you're listening to this, let me give you an idea. You're in your 20s and you're listening to this. And you can even do this at an older age, but the younger you start, the better. If you're in your 20s, you're listening to this, take $5,000. Put it into an S&P fund. I ain't gonna tell you which company to use. It's up to you. S&Ps usually they usually average about 10% per annual. Start out with about $5,000. If you can't start with $5,000, put $1,000 in. Then every month, contribute to it. Try to contribute at least $400 to that S&P. If you start in your 20s and you contribute $400 a month into an S&P fund with 10% per annual, compounding interest, by the time you're 50, you'll have at least $600,000, if not more. And I'm probably way off. It's probably higher. Depends on when you start. Now, here's the key. Every time you get a promotion, every time you get a pay raise, increase the amount that you contribute every month. Right? Increase what you contribute every month. If let's say you're my age, you're 52, and start one with $5,000 in it. Figure out a way to add $1,000 a month, compounding at 10% interest. Over 25 years, you'll have about $1.3 million at the age of 77 in that S&P fund. That is the safest and easiest way to build wealth. But you have to have the discipline to be able to get on a budget, not get tempted to buy everything and anything, and make sure that you maintain that budget. And every time you get a pay increase or you get some extra money somewhere, a portion of it should always go into that investment. The sooner you start, the better. And I know people will say, oh man, I can't. Yes, you can. You can do that. You're just deciding not to because it's not important to you. You have to be able or have the discipline to suspend immediate gratification and be able to wait, be patient, and let it grow. It'll seem slow in the first 5 or 6 years, but as that compounding interest starts hitting, you're going to be like, damn, let me add some more to this thing. Trust me, you will. So, stay away from the get-rich-quick schemes. Stay away from the MLMs. And either build a business or make sound investments. But if you're in the subscriptions, we're going to get a little bit deeper into that. Y'all have a great day, and remember always, you got to free yourself to be yourself because your greatness is non-negotiable. Good journey, good vibrations.